9 o'clock, Sheriff Toth, a.k.a. Under Sheriff Cashman, or Cashman. So, who are you calling?
Ellen.
Oh. Is this item that big a deal? What do we got, 65-cent diff? Is it the
Right.
confusion?
Yeah, still.
Across the clock, around the clock, I should say, days, swings, and graves. So you've discovered in his last payroll that
The person you are calling is
the
unavailable.
Sheriff Department deputies get the 65 cents.
Well, long ago, the previous commissioners, for whatever reason, they gave the deputies they just had 2 shifts. They were day shift
Right.
and graveyard, and they gave them a 50-cent shift differential just for day shift,
Right.
which was 50 cents, and then they gave them 75 cents for the night shift. And then got a second number you're trying?
I'm just trying it again. And then
Oh, don't knock yourself out. You tried once. I'm trying to talk to the man.
maybe she'll call us.
And so the previous commissioners with the union contract, which we've always tried to abide by it so that we're not perceived as taking things away from people. Even though there's no union, we want to treat everybody the way we can affordably with the money that we are given. So the dispatchers, and I believe the detention too, was set up on 8 hours. So a day shift was really a day shift, 8 to 4, and a swing shift was really a swing shift, 4 to midnight, etc. And the dispatch never did get the gravy that the deputies did for just being a day shift, getting a 50-cent shift
Right.
differential. So probably what happened when we said we're going to take the Cal-An, divided the 75 cents for graves and the 50 cents for swings, and came up with 0.63 cents or something. We just rounded up to 65 and made it easier so that people quit flubbing up their timesheet with all their confusing hours.
Right.
So when we extended that 65 cent to all the shifts that receive a shift differential, it was not included in the day shift because they never received one to begin with. And if we do allow that, that's going to be more money that the way we average it, where it's the same money whether we're giving 50 on swings and we just average it. But there wasn't any money to give an additional differential for one that previously did not exist.
I understand.
Okay, so when this says 65-cent shift differential, add the color rest of the narrative for me.
Well, we found that the day shift,
Being omitted.
what you just informed me
Okay.
of, that was not being paid.
Mhm.
We were wondering if it would be allowable to add that to the day shift
Mhm.
and make for the ease of the timesheets as well as helping the employees of dispatch and detention. But I do understand the ramifications of losing the mill.
Yeah. $100,000 less. It was.
Right. And so that's why we were coming in front of you asking about that, if we could even that out across all shifts. But that's a decision that you guys
Mm-hmm.
need to make. We would like to do that, of course, and we would ask you to do that, but we understand the financial side of it as well.
What are they doing for shifts? How are they working in
They're
their...
working 12-hour shifts.
They are working.
Everybody's on 12s now,
Mhm.
just because we're not fully staffed, but we're pretty close. But the problem is we have 3 in detention, but we have 2 hired, but they're new. So, as a matter of fact, one's already started. The other one starts this next week, and then that leaves Kim's spot vacant. So we moved to 12 in order for ease of covering the shifts. And so the differentials, they'll get it on one side or the other.
Yeah,
and
they'll
that's
get,
what
out of a
makes,
12-hour shift, they'll get 4 hours
Right.
paid 65
and that's
cents.
where the confusion with the
Mhm.
timesheets come in. And we just thought, well, if we just extend it on across all
Mhm.
shifts, kind of a win-win for everybody involved.
Or you could just, I mean, I mean, you can set your shifts at anything you want. I mean, you can, day shift is from 7 to 7 or whatever, and that's your day shift.
Right.
And then the shift differential from 7 at night till 7 in the morning too. So you can,
Correct.
I mean, you can set it however you want, so.
Exactly.
I don't know, I just think it's kind of, those that are actually having to work graveyards or late.
Yeah, we never
at night,
really
you know.
agreed with the previous commissioners for giving the deputies 50 cents just for showing up for work. The whole idea behind shift differential is to give people a little bit extra pay for being there when the courthouse closes down, everybody else goes home. They gotta be there at 4 a.m., they gotta be there through the night. And so I always thought it was silly that they even gave the deputies but that wasn't our decision back in 2003 or whenever it was decided. But so I understand what you're saying about the ease of the time sheets, Wayne. The only thing is, again, we're at the problem where we don't really have the money to add to the budget that's already hurting, and
Yeah, being bent. We understand.
then trying to be fair for everybody else that's a day shift that doesn't get, well, except for the deputies, who doesn't get a shift differential for working days.
I just think if you set, okay, if you're working 12-hour shifts, if your shift starts at 7, then it goes to 7, that's considered day shift. And then after that, the next shift would be, they get their shift differential for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll look at adjusting the schedules.
And, you
in
know,
the
just
times.
kind of, if the majority of their time is working during the day, then that's their day shift.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what my feeling is. Because I know, you know, there was dispatch and detention, theirs was from 8 to 4 was the day shift. Well, then you had one person starting at 7, so they got 1 hour on graveyards, 8 hours on day shift, and then 3 hours on. And
right.
that's where the confusion was getting.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
Well, we'll go back to the drawing board and get it worked out.
we just wanted.
And all these ideas for helping make things easier or reward people, we'll have to bring it up next year. Maybe we'll finally get our taxes and revenue caught up on things. But right now, I think it's kind of, we're a little bit too far into the losing money on the mill and the taxes.
Understood.
Well,
Okay. And so,
yeah, and try to tell them, well, at least they're getting 4 hours with the extra 65.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it
I
was so much a issue with that. It's just if we bid for shifts,
Yeah,
that'd be something different. But we all rotate
right.
around the clock, so
Mm-hmm.
so at some point they're going to work it and they're not. So everybody's going to get a piece of that anyway. So
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, and explain it to them too that, I mean, I don't know of anybody that gives a shift differential for a day shift. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of,
But yeah, I understood.
that's when you get to go home and go watch the kids'
Right.
ball games. And I mean, it's those people that have to stay here, get a little bit extra money. And like I said, I don't know why they gave that to the deputies long ago, but that probably should never have happened.
Understood.
Yeah.
So we'll make work. Thank you for listening.
Well, yeah.
The other issue, I'm sorry, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but we had the LEAPC meeting yesterday.
Oh, LEPC?
Yeah, and they were talking about the microwave shot from the school to the top of the jail and the spruce trees and what happens when it snows. So they were wondering if we could trim back some of those spruce trees. And I said I would bring it up to you guys since it's your courthouse and
Yeah.
your trees.
Are they just talking about branch, or are they talking about lopping the top off? Or
I don't know. I'll find out more information. We'll bring that back to you.
I mean, if it
That's right.
I mean, if it's kind of a radio security law enforcement thing, and we probably have to do it. I mean, barring making the
Yeah,
40-foot tree become a 10-foot tree, we probably won't have any issue with it. But
that's my. We're not behind the saw. We'll get the radio guys and see how much cutting.
and that would
needs
be
to
like
done.
getting a hold of some tree service or
Well,
Golden's.
Golden's do it. They do a really good job. They
The
really
Godens
do.
are local boys.
Yeah.
They got a man
Boom
lift there.
truck thingy, and
Yeah.
yeah, we watched him take a big spruce tree that was huge. I don't know how tall, and they started at the top and they limbed the top and then cut it off and lowered it down. I mean, they took it down in sections because it was between a garage and a house, and I mean it was, and then cleaned up the whole mess. I mean they did a good job.
Well, very good. I'll get with the radio guys and we'll figure out how. Just know that it may need to be done. So,
Right, thanks, Wayne, and I'm sorry, I know those dispatchers all need to be appreciated. This would be one more way, but we'll have to just try to figure out a way to
understood.
give everybody more recognition over there next year when there's more money in there. And,
I get the fact that we have a pot of money and we have to make it work. So.
Yeah, well, we have less than what we thought we
Right,
were going to
exactly.
get,
So
so
it's-
that's the problem. So we don't know how the budgets are going to come out at the end of the year with,
100,000 being short.
yeah.
Well, the good part is we have U.S. Marshal Service contracts that we didn't have before.
Right, yeah.
And we have jail open, so that
Right.
expense is actually bringing in money instead of
Yeah. Not
taking
only will
from.
maybe our tax base increase from the houses around here, but maybe it'll look a lot better over there because your jail is finally making money instead
Right, instead of costing.
of bleeding, yeah.
So, very good.
All
That's all
right.
I have for you, folks.
Okay, well, when I preview payroll, I may be calling you when they're wrong, or I mean, if there's any discretions, because I was told
We're going to have
that
a
I
meeting.
need to call the supervisor if there's any mistakes,
Yes,
so.
that'd be me. So, yeah.
And you're going to be put in jail
We'll
if
get
there's any
it.
mistakes.
You got to catch me first.
Can you outrun the radio? Never mind.
Radio doesn't work because of the spruce tree.
Can you outrun the
I know where there's no signal.
Yeah. All right, thanks,
All right,
Wayne.
thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a good day.
Okay, we'll see you.
It's not something on codes, it's